Greetings, gearheads, audiophiles, and analog fans. I'm Johnny Rock, and I'm here to talk about the tape recorders and tape formats we've used for the record. First, let's have a look at the machine that's recorded most of our tracks, the Otari MX-80. It's a 1980s era Japanese-made machine. This was set up for 2-inch analog tape, very much like this reel here. It's 2-inch tape. And this particular machine was set up for 16 tracks. That's 16 separate channels of audio. Most 2-inch tape machines that you'll find now, especially this one, are set up for 24-track use. So it's rare to see this kind of setup anymore. Now, some of you may think that it's better to have more tracks, and of course there are benefits to that. But what's great about 16-track tape is that each track takes up more vertical space on the tape, which means you get hotter levels printed, less noise, and to my ears, a very musical sound. We did use 2-inch 24-track tape machines both at Xanthi Music and at Water Music. Xanthi has a 3M M79, made in the 1970s, which we used to record the live acoustic song Weasel. At Water Music, we used a monstrous Studer A800 to record the live drum solo Nomad. And that particular machine was built likely in the 1980s, and chances are it's recorded one or more of your favorite bands. Another recording format we're using for the title track is half-inch 8-track. The machine we're using is a TIAC 80-8, once owned by Ace Frehley. We used the 8-track to print some sound effects and background vocals, which were then sub-mixed onto the 2-inch master. Some people complain about how noisy this format is, but we've encountered no such problems. Our last recording format might seem silly, but it came in very handy for recording in my cousin's living room. This is a Tascam Portastudio 424. 20 to 30 years ago, long before digital recording went mainstream, a lot of musicians owned 4-track cassette recorders to make their demos. I myself owned a 4-track in the late 90s, and it's how I learned a lot of the basics. So more than that was done on this model machine, and also played back for mix. These are the actual mix settings that we used. And we used DBX. That's a noise reduction algorithm. Threw that on, and also had the tape running at 3 3/4 inches a second. That's high speed for this machine. And using those two things helped us get a much more high quality sound, as best as you can probably get from a cassette tape. Our last format is half-inch 2-track, which is our one and only mixing format. For those of you who are new to this process, the way it works is we basically play back our 2-inch master tapes through a mixing desk and build a stereo mix of each song. Those mixes are printed to smaller reels of tape like this one, and these are the mixes that you'll hear on the record. For 80% of this album, we used this machine, an Otari MTR-10 from the 1980s. We also mixed Weasel and Nomad at Water Music onto a vintage Ampex ATR-104. So there you have it, all the tape machines, all the tape formats, and hope to be bringing a few more of these equipment videos to you soon. So stay tuned, rock on.